In our most critical industries, there is an invisible world, a world of immense energy and hazardous materials, all contained within pipes and vessels. But when that containment is lost, when that energy is unleashed, the consequences are nothing short of catastrophic. Today, we're going deep inside process safety management, the OSHA standard engineered to prevent those exact disasters.
Let this sink in for a minute. This is the very heart of process safety management. We are looking beyond the individual, beyond the typical safety gear. We're talking about preventing events that can level a facility and threaten entire communities. For you, the safety professional, this is your mandate. This is where you become a process guardian.
And this highlights a really critical distinction you have to understand. A plant can have a perfect personal safety record, 0 slips, trips, or falls for a decade, and still be at risk of blowing up tomorrow. See, personal safety is about how people work within the system. Process safety is about ensuring the system itself holds together. They're two totally different ballgames.
And this is the rulebook that governs it all. 29 CFR 1910-119. You should know that number by heart. It was born from a series of terrible industrial accidents back in the late 80s and early 90s. Its mission is crystal clear: prevent those low-probability, high-consequence events before they ever have a chance to happen. So, how does OSHA expect you to do this? Well, it's not a simple checklist. PSM is a living, breathing system built on 14 interconnected elements. This is the complete toolkit. These are the tools you'll use to guard your facility. So what is PSM really? It's an integrated program. It's designed to bring together your technology, your procedures, and your management practices into one cohesive strategy. The goal? To keep your highly hazardous chemicals right where they belong. In short, it's about managing the process, not just managing the people. And here they are, all 14. Think of this like a wheel. Each element is a spoke, and every single one is critical. Employee participation, process hazard analysis, mechanical integrity, you name it. If you weaken just one of these spokes, the entire wheel can collapse. They all have to work together, all the time. Now, while all 14 elements are mandatory, there are 3 that really form the technical core of any strong PSM program. I'm talking about process hazard analysis, management of change, and mechanical integrity. If you master these 3, you're well on your way. Let's dig in. The process hazard analysis, or PHA, is without a doubt the cornerstone. This is where you proactively hunt for trouble. It's a formal, systematic effort where your team gets together and asks, what if? What if a valve fails? What if an operator makes a mistake? The whole point is to find and fix problems on paper long before they can become a disaster in reality. And a good PHA isn't a one-person job. It demands a team. You need your engineers, your operators who know the process inside and out, and a facilitator who is an expert in the PHA method itself. Together, they systematically tear the process apart, identify every potential hazard, and create a concrete plan to deal with what they find. Now, OSHA gives you a toolbox of different approved methods to conduct your PHA. You've got HAZOP, What If, FMEA, and others. The trick is picking the right tool for the job. A complex chemical process might need a full-blown HAZOP, while a simpler one might be fine with a what-if/checklist. It's all about applying the right level of engineering rigor. Okay, let's talk about the single biggest threat to a safe, stable process, and that's change. I want you to burn this into your brain. An unmanaged change is an uncontrolled experiment. So many of our industry's worst disasters happen because someone made a minor tweak without thinking through the consequences. If you change a part, a procedure, or a chemical without a formal review, you are literally gambling with people's lives. The PSM standard is very clear about this. There's a huge difference between a replacement in kind and a change. Swapping out a broken pump for an absolutely identical one, that's a replacement in kind, no MOC needed. But swapping it for a pump that's a different model, a different material, anything different, that is a change. And that requires a full management of change review, period. The mock process isn't just paperwork, it's a critical gatekeeper. It's a formal system that forces you to justify the change, analyze its impact on safety, update all your documents and drawings, and train everyone affected before you make the change. It's the system that stops uncontrolled experiments from ever happening. And the third pillar of our big 3 is mechanical integrity, or MI. This is all about the hardware, the pipes, the tanks, the vessels. Your MI program is what ensures this equipment is designed right, installed right, and maintained right so it doesn't fail. And it all has to be done according to RAGAJEP, recognized and generally accepted good engineering practices. That means following established industry codes and standards.
So we've looked at the technical heart of PSM, but what happens when these systems fail? Let's be blunt. The cost of failure is astronomical, and it's measured in lives, environmental damage, and financial ruin. Compliance here is absolutely non-negotiable. Make no mistake, OSHA comes down hard on PSM violations. We're not talking about small fines. Penalties can easily soar into the 6 or even 7-figure range. A single failed audit, or worse, a major incident, can be a multi-million-dollar liability that puts your facility's very license to operate at risk. And you might be surprised who falls under this standard. It's not just giant oil refineries. PSM covers facilities with any of over 130 specific toxic and reactive chemicals. But it also applies to any site with more than 10,000 pounds of flammable liquids or gases. That means thousands upon thousands of facilities across the U.S. have to comply.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. As a safety professional, as a process guardian, what do you really need to focus on? Here are a few key lessons from the front lines that you need to take to heart.
Lesson number 1, your process safety information is everything. The PSI is the DNA of your plant. It's all the data on your chemicals, your equipment, your technology. If that information is wrong, if your PNIDs are outdated, for instance, then you simply cannot conduct a valid PHA. You can't execute a safe MOC. Your entire PSM program is built on the foundation of accurate PSI. Lesson number 2, you own contractor safety. The standard is very clear that the host employer, that's you, is ultimately on the hook for the safety of contractors working in your facility. You have to evaluate them, inform them of the hazards, and make sure they follow your rules. This is a huge area of focus for OSHA, and you can't afford to get it wrong. And lesson 3, the pre-startup safety review is your final wall of defense. Before you push the start button on a new or modified process, the PSSR is your last chance to catch a mistake. It's a final check to confirm that the construction matches the design, that procedures are ready, that training is done, and that every recommendation from your safety reviews has been closed out. It's the last gatekeeper. We've covered a lot of ground today, but knowing the standard is one thing. Implementing it day in and day out is the real challenge. So I want to ask you, for those of you working in these facilities, which of these 14 elements do you find the most difficult to manage and sustain? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your experience. If you want to learn more about workplace safety and master OSHA regulations, make sure you subscribe to HSE Study. We're here to give you the tools and knowledge you need to be an effective process guardian.